right now, live at 5, calling for accountability. Minneapolis's mayor is looking to have the officers involved charged after the death of George Floyd.
Come June 1st, a business in Hermantown says the 50-people capacity isn't enough to keep them financially afloat.
And President Trump is firing back this morning in his new battle with social media platform Twitter. Plus, how a Fond du Lac family is helping different reservations struggling across the country.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
We'll start things off with this live look in Duluth, where dozens of people are gathering at London Road and 21st Avenue East right now, protesting George Floyd's death. You can see many are holding signs, some reading "I can't breathe," others saying "no justice, no peace." We heard from the Duluth Police Department right before the show. They said they are aware of the protests and that it is a peaceful gathering. You can see traffic is being blocked in some areas as protesters continue to gather. The DPD added that the community is outraged and the department will be at the protest to ensure their right to free speech. Good evening, I'm Kristen Baki. Tony is on assignment. Thanks for joining us. Protests like the one we just showed you here in Duluth have been happening for the last 24 hours after information continues to surface regarding the death of a black man in Minneapolis after an altercation with police on Monday. Tonight, the Minneapolis mayor, Jacob Fry, is calling on the Hennepin County attorney to press charges against the arresting officer. A warning: the video we are about to show could be disturbing to some. This was the scene Monday when police were responding to a forgery call. Authorities say George Floyd was resisting arrest. One of the officers knelt on Floyd's neck for what is reported to be 7 minutes, while Floyd said he could not breathe. He would later die at an area hospital. 4 officers were later fired and an FBI investigation was launched. Only one of them has been identified. According to our sister station, WCCO, the office of lawyer Tom Kelly confirmed they were representing one of the officers involved in the case and confirmed his identity as Derek Chauvin. No arrests have been made, which prompted Mayor Fry to say any other individual other than a police officer in a case like this would already be in jail. The events led to this scene yesterday as protesters descended on the 3rd Precinct in Minneapolis, destroying police vehicles, precinct windows, and throwing bricks and rocks. Here's what Mayor Fry had to say about the case today.
We cannot turn a blind eye. It is on us as leaders to see this for what it is and call it what it is. George Floyd deserves justice. His family deserves justice. The black community deserves justice. And our city deserves justice.
State leaders spoke about the investigation into George Floyd's death today, including Attorney General Keith Ellison. He said he's ensuring the process is thorough, so any charges they do file stand up in court. Lieutenant Bob Kroll, president of the Police Officers Federation of Minneapolis, said the union intends to provide full support to the officers. Meanwhile, Attorney Ben Crump, who is representing Floyd's family, says they need to make sure the mayor and the police chief fix the policies and training deficiencies that permitted this unlawful killing to occur. Well, Duluth leaders in the African American community are sharing their thoughts tonight, saying many things need to change. CBS 3's Emma Quinn spoke with Duluth's human rights officer to learn more.
Duluth Human Rights Officer Carl Crawford tells me it's been an emotional few days since Floyd's death. He says deadly encounters with police is something that happens far too often for those in the African American community. Crawford says he took this incident personally as he worries about the safety of himself, his son, and others in the community. He called on community leaders to start making changes to set an example for the rest of the community. And Crawford adds that the use of body cameras and cell phone videos are a step in the right direction toward holding people accountable for their actions.
Really, a Herculean effort of community, of folks in office, in this case, the police department, of everyone involved need to really start understanding their bias and prejudice and how it influences the way policy is set, the way we do our work.
Crawford says he applauds the Minneapolis Police Department for firing the officers involved Tuesday. He believes that the Duluth Police Department has a strong relationship with the African American community.
Thanks, Emma. And coming up tonight at 6, we'll hear more from NAACP leaders about what other changes they believe need to be made when it comes to police relations. Wisconsin's Elections Commission is once again considering whether or not to mail absentee ballots to all the state's registered voters. Their meeting started at 4 this afternoon. It's the second time the group has met about the issue. If approved, 2.7 million absentee ballots would be mailed ahead of the November presidential election. Even voters who didn't request one would get one. Democrats were in favor, while Republicans were opposed. We are expecting a vote at some point tonight. President Trump is accusing social media platforms of silencing conservative voices. In a tweet this morning, he threatened to regulate or close them down. This follows Twitter's decision Tuesday to fact-check the president's tweets. Natalie Brand is at the White House with the latest.
President Trump is accusing social media platforms of silencing conservative voices, and he's threatening to take action. In a tweet this morning, President Trump wrote, "We will strongly regulate or close them down before we can ever allow this to happen." This follows Twitter's decision Tuesday to flag the president's tweets with the fact-check label for the first time. Twitter directed users to information debunking the president's claims about mail-in voting. In a statement, the company said the president's messages contain potentially misleading information about voting processes and have been labeled to provide additional context.
But he certainly has alternative platforms. He's the president of the United States. What would you guys do without Twitter?
President Trump has also been using Twitter to promote a conspiracy theory, accusing cable news host and former Congressman Joe Scarborough of killing a former staff member. Investigators say Lori Klasutis suffered a heart condition that caused her to fall and hit her head in Scarborough's office in 2001. A medical examiner ruled her death an accident. In a letter, Lori's widower, Timothy Klasutis, asked Twitter to delete the president's tweet, saying the president of the United States has taken something that does not belong to him, the memory of my dead wife, and perverted it for perceived political gain. President Trump was asked Tuesday if he had seen the letter.
I have, but I'm sure that ultimately they want to get to the bottom of it, and it's a very serious situation.
Before meeting with New York Governor Andrew Cuomo this morning, the president fired off another tweet aimed at Scarborough, saying he is rattled by bad ratings and the facts.
All right, let's check in now with Dave for a look at the weather. What a beautiful day out there today.
Yeah, that rain we got yesterday was greatly needed, and it covered most of the region. Not everybody. Most zones now have a low fire danger, although towards the Canadian border, northern Couchiching County, northern St. Louis County, it's still on the moderate side. So we could use a little more there. I don't think we're going to get more for a while. Here's a live look at Blackjack Mountain over there between Wakefield and Bessemer, and the hill is greening. It's alive with the sound of leaves, if there's such a song as that. Bottom line, it's gorgeous. And on the warm side today, though we may only have one more day of the warmth before a cool down comes our way. So there's the low pressure system from yesterday, still bringing some showers towards the Upper Peninsula and parts of northwestern Wisconsin and into northeastern Wisconsin. Take a look to the northwest. That's a cool front coming our way that could bring Minnesotans a few showers tomorrow morning, but otherwise, tomorrow's going to be a pretty decent day. It's going to be on the drier side and the sunnier side. And one more day, like I mentioned, on the warmer side, partly cloudy and 73, but by Friday, we'll drop into the 60s, and I'll talk about how long that will stick around in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Still to come on Live at 5, a big casino in northwest Wisconsin is choosing to stay closed. That and more in City by City.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS3. Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live Local CBS3 Duluth.
Mariah Haberman here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the DW crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on social media and discoverwisconsin.com for behind-the-scenes content and great Wisconsin giveaways, including a chance to win a free vacation. This week's featured prize package could take you to the Hayward Lakes area. Just visit discoverwisconsin.com for details.
To be honest, A little dust, it never bothered me. Until I found out what it actually was.
Dust mite droppings? Ew. Dead skin cells?
Gross. So now I grab my Swiffer Sweeper and heavy duty dusters.
Duster extends to 3 feet to get all that gross stuff. Gotcha.
And for that nasty dust on my floors, my sweeper's on it.
The textured cloths grab and hold dirt and hair no matter where dust bunnies hide. No more heebie-jeebies. Glad I stopped cleaning and started Swiffering.
The 2020 Subaru Forester. The SUV for all you love. Standard symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 33 miles per gallon. Standard eyesight driver assist technology. A spacious and comfortable interior. The best SUV for all you do.
Get 0% APR financing on all new 2020 Subaru Forester models now through June 1st. Visit us online at millerhill.com.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
One of the greatest football players of all time, Rob Gronkowski, and one of the greatest tennis players of all time, Venus Williams, applying their skills on our new show, Game On.
There will be some tennis, right?
Not really.
What about football?
Not in the traditional sense.
Okay, then what skills do we need?
Courage.
Come and get it.
Elite athletes, epic challenges. Game On. New series tonight at 8, 7 Central on CBS.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look over Duluth on this very sunny Wednesday, giving us our first real taste of summer weather. Dave will be in to tell us how long this will last in just a bit, but first, let's take a quick trip around the Northland. From a major Northwest Wisconsin casino remaining closed to a longtime music teacher retiring on the range, we're taking you around the region, city by city. Kicking things off in Bayfield, where the legendary Waters Casino will remain closed until further notice. The closure applies to the casino, hotel, restaurant, and nearby campgrounds. Tribal leaders say they have made the decision out of an abundance of caution, with their top priority being the safety of staff and guests. No reopening date has been set. Now to Grand Rapids, where a new drive-through option at the local library is paying major dividends. The decision to turn it into a drive-through was made due to the pandemic. According to the Grand Rapids Herald, more than 80 people utilized the service on the first day alone. Library leaders expect that to continue as the school year comes to a close. Using the service is simple. You can reserve online or call ahead to place items on hold. Then drive up Monday through Friday between noon and 6 and pick up your items. And on the Iron Range, a longtime music teacher is set to retire. According to the Hibbing Tribune, Chet Johnson has taught at the Hibbing School for 36 years. In that time, he served as a leader for Boy Scout Troop 13, boys director for the Hibbing Soccer Club, and ski instructor at Giants Ridge. He's retiring at the end of this school year. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email, and it could be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city. Still to come on Live at 5, as summer sports leagues remain on hold during COVID-19, a look at how they plan to survive the financial toll of the pandemic.
Here's a live look towards the Virginia High Bridge and the Richelieu Pit. It's greening up. A little bit of rain and a little bit of heat will do that. Well, the heat may not last much more than tomorrow, and the lack of rain may stick around a bit longer. We'll show you when we'll get our next rain chance coming up after our break.
For the news that impacts you most, turn to Live Local CBS3.
Wake up with Austin and Jenna at 5 a.m.
Mom, I'm here. Mom, where are you? Help. Mom?
Without emergency protection, you risk your life. But with Life Alert, one press of a button can get you help fast.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-458-9565. That's 1-800-458-9565. Call now, 1-800-458-9565. For a free brochure, call 1-800-458-9565.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day. From environmental issues to economics and so much more. Join me, Kristen Baki, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining, a fair and unbiased report that answers the tough questions surrounding the world of mining.
High on Mining with Kristen Vaki. Tuesdays at 10 only on Live Local CBS3. Brought to you by Iron Mining Association. Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live Local CBS3 Duluth.
I don't believe there's another meteorologist in this area who has the experience and years that Dave has.
He's an Ely guy, he's local, he's been here.
His experience, that's something that's really special to CBS3.
He's just like this bastion of knowledge. He remembers everything.
Get to know Dave Anderson weekday nights on Live Local CBS3.
Northwest Outlet is open for business. Now save up to 40% off store-wide.
My 95.7 is the Northland's best variety all day. From Ed Sheeran and Maroon 5 to Lady Gaga and Bryan Adams. Always family and office friendly. My 95.7, your life, your music.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Time for another live look, because this one looks to me like a nice watercolor painting. It is Robinson Lake just outside of Ely. There's Highway 1/169 heading towards my hometown. The sky above is beautiful and blue, just innocuous puffy clouds going on in the wake of yesterday's precipitation, which brought in some much needed rain for many towns, but not all. And then the heat that followed it sure helped things green up. So gorgeous picture. I think we're going to stay on the dry side through the weekend, though the warm spell will evaporate, to mix my meteorological metaphors there, and go away by Friday. Current conditions at Duluth International, 80 degrees. Oh, I thought we'd only hit 78, but we've cracked 80 as well. Relative humidity has fallen to 36%, and if that sticks around too long, we'll be back into watching the fire danger again. Westerly, southwesterly winds going 10 miles per hour. Air pressure is actually a little bit on the lower side at 1,011 millibars, but higher pressure is coming in to keep that dry spell going for the most part through the weekend. Current temperatures still a little bit cooler towards the Upper Peninsula, 66 to 74 there, 71 in Hayward, but the warmer air is taken over Superior. Even Superior, normally cooler by the lake, is now 82, 79 for Moose Lake, even 79 in Two Harbors. Ely's there too, 80 straight up in Hibbing, close to 80 for Grand Rapids, which is close to Coleraine, 81 right now, International Falls. This heat will mellow a little bit tomorrow, probably falling back into the mid to upper 70s, and then falling into the 60s by Friday. So the heat is not going to stick around forever. The rain from yesterday is still trying to drag through parts of northeastern Wisconsin and into the Upper Peninsula, and could continue there for a couple more hours. In Minnesota, it's dry now, but there's a slight chance tomorrow morning that we'll be getting a little bit of precipitation to come our way. But we're probably going to have to wait a long time for our next low pressure system here to come and bring us a shower and storm chance. It may not come, not Friday, no, it may hold off all the way until, I'm thinking, Monday or so. All right, into the forecast here for tonight. We're looking at low temperatures in Minnesota to go from about 50 inland to 57 by the lake, with a partly cloudy sky for tomorrow, or actually tonight in Wisconsin and Michigan. Low temps there will be in the mid to upper 50s with a partly cloudy sky and a southwesterly wind 5 to 10. So getting into tomorrow for Wisconsin and Michigan, the warmth and the moisture from the rain the other day might be enough there to make some clouds. Partly sunny is what we're calling for, and high temps from 73 to 75. That's pretty close to normal. In Minnesota, we're looking for perhaps 65 to 70 by the lake, and anywhere from 69 to 75 inland. Cooler towards International Falls again because of that cool front that will bring a 20% chance for morning sprinkles to folks in Minnesota. Then in the afternoon, partly cloudy sky reasserts itself. Now, our extended forecast shows behind that cool front, there is some cooler air. And by Friday, our temperatures drop from the 70s to the 60s. They stay in the 60s through the weekend, but the sunshine persists as well. So even if it isn't 70 to 80, at least it'll be sunny. Then comes that next rain chance I talked about, Kristen, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Thanks, Dave. Professional sports are on hiatus during the pandemic. Minnesota's popular American Legion Baseball League has been canceled, and some recreational summer leagues are in limbo, depending on what side of the Minnesota-Wisconsin border you are on. CBS3's Leanne Valdez spoke with 2 league coordinators and restaurant owners who rely on that summer league income. She shares the different sides of the story from the 2 different states.
The doors of Aces on 29th and Superior will soon be open once again.
We'll be opening probably this weekend.
Owner Rick Moran is excited to see the community and show off its renovations.
You know, it's been a long 2 months.
But also to get their volleyball league started.
On a daily basis, the phone rings nonstop.
After Wisconsin State Supreme Court blocked Governor Evers' safer-at-home orders, restaurants and bars were able to open to in-person diners. That also meant they could host summer sports leagues, which Aces plans to do starting June 8th. But across the bridge, owner of Skyline Social and Games in Hermantown, Corey Colquist, says the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
We started receiving phone calls over the weekend saying, when are you guys going to start your league? And if we don't get a date, we're going to go across the bridge to Superior.
Though their restaurant portion will be open to outside dining June 1st, Skyline's Volleyball League, which often draws hundreds on summer nights, is on hold for now. Colquist says that's because of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's order limiting restaurants to serve a maximum of 50 people at a time, all outdoors. So Colquist says he had to choose between volleyball or serving food, and he chose the latter.
It's very tough. It's disheartening. Frankly, I don't see it as fair.
Walz says he put limitations in place to lower the chances of spreading the disease through the air. But Colquist rebutted, saying he has space to safely accommodate more people.
We have 80,000 square feet. We could have a couple hundred people here, and you wouldn't be within 20 feet of anyone.
Colquist says the guidelines cannot be a one-size-fits-all, and more needs to be done to save already hurting businesses.
Over the next month, we are going to see businesses have to make decisions. Are they going to close their doors permanently? Are they going to defy the orders and try to generate revenue to stay afloat? Or are they going to take loans out to survive?
Skyline is hoping to start up its leagues soon. The cutoff date to officially cancel the volleyball season is July 1st. In that case, Colquist says they would have to issue a full refund, and he estimates Skyline could lose out on $50,000. Well, Duluth's Park Point Beach was busy today, much different from what we've seen during the pandemic. The beaches there do remain open, but people are asked to social distance. Our photographer estimated there were hundreds of people there. We did reach out to city leaders to hear their thoughts, but have not heard back yet. The beach is not staffed with lifeguards. Still to come, how a Fond du Lac family is stepping up to help different reservations struggling across the country.
And when we get back, are people going to have money? And I think people are going to be raring to do something.
It really just kind of came to a screeching halt.
Another industry feeling big impacts from the COVID-19 pandemic, Duluth's local arts community. From live theater to musicians to photographers, I'm taking a closer look at how their daily lives have changed and how these artists are working to recover.
Surviving the Intermission, May 29th at 10. Always on the go, but want to keep up with the day's news? Don't worry. Now we are wherever you are. Traveling? No problem. Stream wherever, whenever with live local CBS3.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope. Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
As businesses reopen, it's important to support the shops, dealerships, and service providers who hire local workers and drive our economy.
I don't know anybody that works at Amazon, but I have friends and neighbors who work at local businesses.
You can help. Spend your money here. Shop local when you shop online. Mini deliver or have curbside pickup.
And they're keeping things safe for you.
Remember this when you buy and support local. Invest in the Northland.
The Glen Sheen murders are the most well-known murder in Duluth, but that has nothing on this story.
CBS3's Anthony Matt brought you the Digging Deeper exclusive of a Duluth man's determination to uncover the truth behind one of the city's darkest mysteries. Now, we've been honored with a Regional Burrow Award for hard news reporting. Award-winning journalism you can trust from live, local CBS3.
Two of the greatest athletes in the world are competing on our new show, Game On. Face some trivia questions.
Can't wait.
And one-of-a-kind challenges.
But nothing too dangerous.
Like human darts and danger sit-ups.
Okay, that literally has the word danger in it.
You won't want to miss it. Come and get it. Elite athletes, epic challenges. Game On. New series tonight at 8, 7 Central on CBS.
I am most excited about getting to really know the viewers in the Northland and getting to show my personality too and letting the Northland kind of get to know me. I'm a very energetic person. I'm always at 100 and I'm always excited to be able to tell stories and being able to have a little bit of fun with it too. And I think that's really, really important on a morning show as well because you need that energy in the morning to wake you up.
Wake up with Austin and Jenna at 5 a.m. Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on live local CBS3 Duluth.
During the current pandemic, a Fond du Lac family has decided to step up and help different reservations struggling across the country. FDL band member Tasha Martineau and her family have been handing out donations to other members of their reservation. But recently, they took things a step further by sending donations to other reservations. Martineau says she and her family are currently helping Native people on reservations in South Dakota, as well as the Navajo Nation of Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico. Along with other goods, the family has donated masks, traditional Native medicines, and honey from local beekeepers. This spring, COVID-19 forced nearly every college class to be moved online, but there are some classes where online just isn't an option. At UMD's Land Lab in Duluth, several students were outside today tending to their fruits, vegetables, and bees. It sits about 5 miles from UMD's main campus, and its goal is to create a food system that meets the needs of all community members. UMD senior Michaela Erickson is majoring in environmental sustainability, and tending to crops at the Land Lab is part of her schooling. She says the hands-on experience she gets outside is essential to her education. We'll be right back after the break.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
Thank you for virtual family dinners and long-distance birthday wishes. Thank you for sweet streaming melodies and spontaneous dance parties. Thank you for keeping classrooms together and learning alive. Thank you to our incredible network of employees who make all these beautiful connections possible.
Before using Olea, my hair color was less vibrant. I had to rescue it.
Olea, hair color powered by 60% oils, no ammonia.
The color is really rich, and it looks healthier than before I colored it. My hair is happy right now.
Olea by Garnier Naturally.
Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on live local CBS3 Duluth.
As businesses reopen, it's important to support the shops, dealerships, and service providers who hire local workers and drive our economy.
I don't know anybody that works at Amazon, but I have friends and neighbors who work at local businesses.
You can help. Spend your money here. Shop local when you shop online. Mini deliver or have curbside pickup.
And they're keeping things safe for you.
Remember this when you buy and support local. Invest in the Northland.
During this COVID-19 crisis, everyone is experiencing raised stress levels. Business is disrupted and consumers are scared. The result can create tense situations. The Better Business Bureau encourages everyone to treat each other with grace, respect, and empathy. We need to work together. When life begins to normalize, people will remember how they were treated during this time. If businesses and consumers treat each other fairly, these relationships will last far beyond this crisis.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look in Canal Park on this beautiful Wednesday evening. Let's take a look back at our top story at 5 and a glance ahead at what's to come at 6. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry has called on the Hennepin County attorney to press charges against the arresting officer after the death of an unarmed black man. Lieutenant Bob Kroll, president of the Police Officers Federation of Minneapolis, said that the union intends to provide full support to the 4 officers who were fired over the incident. Meanwhile, attorney Ben Crump, who is representing the family of the man who died, says they need to make sure the mayor and the police chief fix the policies and training deficiencies that permitted this unlawful killing to occur. And coming up tonight on the CBS3 News at 6, we're hearing from St. Louis County Attorney Mark Rubin on the situation. He served on the state's working group that aimed to reduce incidents of deadly force encounters with police. We're getting his reaction and hearing what he thinks could have been done differently to produce a different outcome. All of that and much more coming up tonight at 6. That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is up next.